Have you seen the national costumes of your ancestors? I wanted to start this video by asking you this because recently I had the opportunity to take a very close look at some of mine. Well, actually, I'm privileged to have a friend that likes to hand sew them for fun based on historic records. So we made a deal of satisfying my curiosity in exchange for photos of her collection. And I'm at awe at the detailing, the colors, the materials, the patterns, just like everything. And also the hours that go into making just this one look. It's absolutely incredible. And considering that there are so many different costume designs depending on the certain territories and times in history, the creativity of my ancestors just blows my mind. And obviously it's such a huge contrast to what we wear nowadays and just our whole thinking around clothing, like their origin, quality, materials, and disposability. It's sad, but it's also true. And regardless, here most of us have a choice, and I wish we all strive to make the most educated and ethical one every time we go shopping. Sharing this experience with my friend inspired me to share some of my little artistic projects here with you, and also my recent realizations in regards to creativity and just life in general. As a person that likes to put seemingly useless things to use and find ways how to make them work together in new ways, my attention got caught by the washed up wood and sticks on local beaches here, just like naturally, The image of those hangout spots on the beach that locals made from driftwood that I saw on the Sunset Trail just wouldn't leave my mind, so I thought I'd put this material to use too. I really like the texture and also the whitewash color of this sort of wood. I've also been collecting sea glass, which I thought I could use for some creative projects. I think it's such a nice and somewhat unique material that you can use to make, for example, jewelry and different kinds of home decor. I think each one of us can identify at least one thing that we hate doing and one thing that we love doing, and that gives us a sense of fulfillment. For many years now, I've been trying to identify and make sense of why I enjoy doing some things more than others. Like, it probably sounds unusual, but I really wanted to know, where does it come from? Is it because of my upbringing, culture, or is it something inherently within me? I started to ask myself these questions when I realized that the things that I like doing most are not really welcomed in society and have little space in our current culture and therefore also our current world structure. And therefore I was pushed to do things that I don't really care about, and therefore they brought little to no pleasure to me, besides just feeling that I am being productive and therefore my existence is worthy of having, which is a trap and a forced belief system in of itself, in my opinion. And I'm sure many of you watching this can relate to this to some level, because hey, we're living on planet Earth and it's the year 2021. Of course, unless you're in a different time and a space completely, to which I can only ask, is it better? Because I really hope it is, and I hope that we figured it out, And creativity and curiosity can assist us in this. I really believe that we are inherently creative beings, each and every one of us, and cultivating and giving time and space for our imagination to just run free the same way it was when we were little, without any artificial overlays and constraints that culture later puts on us and that do not serve us in this moment is so important. Of course, everyone is on their own path, and this is just something that I realized for myself. But regardless, I think it's very useful to kind of go within yourself and do this deep cleaning and inventory of your beliefs from time to time, and just see which ones you truly resonate with and want to keep, and which ones are just put there by outside factors and are taking up so much space in your mind and do more harm to you than good. Personally, I've been questioning myself a lot lately, which resulted in letting go of so many things that I no longer believe in, and I can really feel this calmness, and I'm just less plagued by all kinds of worries and unfulfilled expectations based on those beliefs. The final product. It's not bad. I mean, it could be much worse considering my hot glue skills, but you can decide what it is. I think it's a fairy. It's like princess fairy, in my opinion. I had a sold print on a canvas that kind of served its time, so I decided to remove it from the frame and stretch out the fabric inversed so I can paint something new on it. I was inspired by this beautiful photo of Margaret Churchill that I used as a reference, and also the style of this painting by Rocio Montoya that I wanted to try out. I didn't feel like spending a lot of time on this painting and planning out all the details beforehand, so I just went with whatever colors I felt in the moment. I prefer to just wing it and learn by trial and error, and I found that that's how I get the best results anyway for myself. Letting go of my excessive perfectionism is also on the agenda for me. And I think that it's so natural to make mistakes regardless where you are in your life. It shouldn't be something shameful or so frightening that you don't even try it because you think you won't be good at it. It's the essence of learning, and anyone you look up to has been just as clueless and novice at their craft at one point in their life. And I say this also as a reassurance for myself, because even now in my 20s, sometimes I feel like I'm very much behind many things, but we all move through this experience at our own pace and understanding. So I try to remind myself this and just give more time to activities that make this experience worthy of having for myself. Creating things with my hands has always been one of my favorite pastime activities, and it always brought this sense of calmness whenever I was making something. And I realized that it was because I was so focused on the present moment and what I was doing that there were no bad thoughts entering my mind. And even if there were, I couldn't really indulge in them because it would create so much noise in my mind that I would get distracted. And since my mind really likes to analyze and think a lot, regardless if it's necessary or not, it was a space for me to just create and escape from those unhealthy thought patterns. And also, in the end, I had a physical or visual representation of my work, which gave me so much joy and satisfaction. So thank you so much for coming by today, and I wish you a lovely rest of the day, and that you too can find calmness in what you love doing most and do it as much as you'd like. Bye.